Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now in today's video, I'm going to be doing a very quick comparison between the OPPO Reno7 Pro 5G versus the Samsung S22 5G. Now both devices here might not look very similar to you, but there are actually quite a few similarities. And the main reason why I wanted to do this comparison is because I wanted to find out how close OPPO really is in terms to Samsung. Now OPPO has always been trying really hard to catch up to Samsung or be as good as Samsung. So in this video, we're just going to take a look at how far or how near these devices are apart. Alright, so first things first, we're going to talk a bit about the price. Pricing wise, the OPPO Reno7 Pro here is retailing in Malaysia for RM2999, whereas the Samsung S22 is going for RM3699. So just in terms of that, we have a price difference of 700 ringgit between both these devices. Alright, so now that we're done talking about the pricing, let's check out the features on these devices. I want to start off very quickly by checking out the design. Now, the OPPO Reno7 Pro comes with a design that, in my opinion, looks really good. Apart from that beautiful matte back panel, it also has flat aluminum sides that feels extremely premium to hold. To top that off, the Reno7 Pro also comes with an RGB LED light that glows around the camera module, making it really stand out from the crowd of ordinary smartphones we're seeing today. Now, as for the Samsung S22, this design is more of a minimalist kind of approach, and it carries Samsung's traditional design language. The good thing here is that this S22 is IP68 rated, and that means it can even be submerged into water. However, if I had to choose one design over the other, I am definitely going with the Reno7 Pro, as in my opinion, it does looks and feels much more premium compared to the Samsung S22. So now that we're done talking about the designs, let's flip the devices to the front and check out their displays. Now, I won't be talking too much about size, as clearly one is larger than the other, but in terms of resolution, the OPPO Reno7 Pro comes with a 1080p AMOLED display that refreshes at 90Hz. Apart from that, it has a maximum brightness of 920 nits. Now, the Samsung S22 on the other hand comes with a 1080p dynamic AMOLED display that refreshes at a higher 120Hz. It also supports a higher maximum brightness of 1300 nits. Hence, on a day-to-day basis, I find that the S22 does happen to be the better display here, as not only does it allow smoother interactions on its display, it is also much brighter outdoors, and that's really useful, especially since we have plenty of sunny days here in Malaysia. Having said that, the display on the OPPO Reno7 Pro is also not bad, but I did wish it came with a 120Hz refresh rate. Now next, let's move on and compare something really interesting here, and that is the cameras at the back. Starting with the OPPO Reno7 Pro, it has what OPPO is calling a dual flagship camera system. At the back, it has a 50 megapixel Sony IMX766 main sensor, an 8 megapixel ultrawide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Now at the front, it has a high resolution 32 megapixel Sony IMX709 selfie camera. Alright, so moving on to the Samsung S22, it also comes with a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultrawide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens. Flipping the device to the front, we do see a 10 megapixel selfie camera. Alright, so now numbers are just numbers, but how do these cameras actually perform in real life? Let's find out. Well, again, on a day-to-day basis, after taking multiple shots, I find that the S22 tend to produce images that look more saturated, whereas the Reno7 Pro produces images that are more true to life. However, in terms of details, the S22 here tends to outperform the OPPO Reno7 Pro. This is the case for both images taken in the day as well as at night. Now, moving on to selfies, again, the S22 here actually outperforms the OPPO even though it has a lower resolution selfie camera. Selfies does have more detail on the S22, as you can see from my pictures here of my hair, and even has more accurate skin tone colors, which is actually quite impressive. On the other hand, I feel like OPPO selfie camera is more suitable for girls who like the smoothing and whitening effect. However, the OPPO Reno7 Pro does have some tricks up its sleeves. With its adjustable aperture and bokeh flare effect, the Reno7 Pro can actually produce some really nice portrait selfie images and videos. In fact, if you look closely here, you'll notice that the OPPO Reno7 Pro creates these round circular balls of light at the back with its bokeh flare filter, and this creates a really creative effect that makes it look like it was taken by a higher-end camera. This is actually pretty cool as well. Alright, so now that we've done talking about the cameras, let's talk a little bit about the power, what kind of processor is powering these devices. Now, as the Reno7 Pro was launched 3 months earlier than the S22, it is understandable that it comes powered by last year's MediaTek flagship, the Dimensity 1200 Max. The Samsung S22, on the other hand, is powered by this year's Qualcomm flagship, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Now, in terms of RAM, the Reno 7 Pro comes with 12GB of RAM right out of the box, and that is actually expandable by 7GB to give a whopping total of 19GB of RAM, guys. That's pretty crazy. Now, the Samsung S22, on the other hand, only has 8GB of RAM, but it is also expandable by 8GB to a total of 16GB of RAM. These are massive numbers for both. Well, in real-world use, you won't really notice that much of a difference in terms of performance on both devices. Both are actually very quick when launching apps, browsing social media, internet, and more. It is only when it comes to gaming where the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 on the Samsung S22 shows its true power. However, with great power also comes great heat, and this is very obvious on the S22 when playing games. The Dimensity 1200 Max on the Reno 7 Pro, on the other hand, takes on a more efficient approach and is able to support most games on high graphic settings without giving out too much heat. Honestly speaking, at the end of the day, if you don't play that much games, I personally think you will do just fine on the Dimensity 1200 Max on the OPPO Reno 7 Pro. Now, last but not least, let's talk a bit about the battery as well as the charging speeds for both devices. We have a 4500 mAh battery on the OPPO Reno 7 Pro and a smaller 3700 mAh battery on the S22. I won't comment much on this as obviously the smaller device will have a smaller battery. However, charging speeds wise, this is where the OPPO Reno 7 Pro really shines. With a 65-watt charger that came in the box, it is able to charge the device from 0 to 100% in just 31 minutes. Now, the Samsung S22 on the other hand only supports 25-watt charging and doesn't even come with a charger in the box, so it is actually quite disappointing. Finally, before we conclude, let's talk a little bit more about some other features that is actually present on both devices. Now, the OPPO Reno 7 Pro comes with OPPO's latest ColorOS 12 that supports PC Connect, Emoji, and of course that anti-peeping notifications. I really like PC Connect as this allows users to drag and drop files very conveniently between their smartphone and computer. The Samsung S22 on the other hand comes with Samsung DeX that allows users to convert their monitors into a working computer as well. I would say that both devices actually offer reasonable amount of productivity features. Alright, so at the end of the day, we can see that OPPO is definitely stepping up their game and is actually inching closer to devices like Samsung's flagship. I would say that in terms of the Samsung S22, it does come with that better display, better cameras. However, when we move over to the OPPO Reno 7 Pro, we do have this really beautiful design, awesome build quality. We also have that very interesting creative kind of bokeh flat images for your portrait selfies as well as your videos. And last but not least, the charging speeds on the OPPO Reno 7 Pro is just blazing fast compared to the Samsung S22. So overall, that's it for today's comparison between the OPPO Reno 7 Pro against the Samsung S22. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel, and I hope to see all of you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye!